Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Wild Arms 3. My name is Basilisk.
And I am the Caffeine Dragon.
And it's bonus episode time. We are
Indeed.
in Cod Dingle. Indeed. We are in Cod Dingle, getting ready to fight the first optional boss on our list for today. There's two things to note. One, we're not fighting any of the optional bosses from the Abyss, because the Abyss can go fuck itself. Two, we're not doing the full thing for one of these guys, and we'll get to him when we get there. And we're also not fighting the black box optional boss.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like combing every dungeon and every town looking for the chests I didn't open. Secondly, right? Secondly, I also loaded this from the Gunner's Heaven save I made from before I went into the Nightmare Castle. The reason for that is Nightmare Castle kinda glitches out the rest of the game, and some things don't trigger properly after you get into the Nightmare Castle. And I wasn't able to find a list of what does and doesn't trigger properly.
Neat.
Indeed. So do be aware of that if you haven't 100% the game before you go in there. Why am I in the menu? I need this.
I don't know.
Anyways, Kramer doll.
Alright, so our first name on the hit list today is the Power Trask. Where the Trask before had a bunch of defense, Power Trask said, fuck that, all strength. 80,000 HP, resistant to all elements, weak to no elements. Dark Luciad will murder him. Power Trask has only one attack, Biomissile.
Biomissile. Which I'm not
Unfortunately, we're too
fussed
strong.
about. But don't worry, I didn't think his defense was low enough, so...
Clearly.
Holy shit, this dude's fucked.
We're not even gonna need finest arts.
Nope.
Oh, hey, he still has
he has
bios.
two
He still has big
attacks,
press. Neat. This guy lied to me. Jet, you okay there, buddy?
I think I really fucked up the build for Jet's gun.
Well, we have enough money to fix it if need be.
If we were doing the Abyss, I'd look into it, but since we're not... Oh no.
I'd laugh if Big Press just knocks out one of them.
I mean, they're all immune to Fallen.
No, I just meant in sheer
I gave
damage.
them that back. Just does 5,000 damage.
Pretty much, yeah.
Alright, so this episode will also be the last episode of the series to feature combat, so...
Yep.
Alright. Oh no, wait, Clive doesn't have 100 FP, so...
The only attack that's landed so far is Biomissile. So yeah, Power Trask. It's
Yeah, he's, not the biggest threat.
no.
Although I do need to heal Virginia.
This is true. This is true. No. Okay.
Oh, there... I'll let Jet do the healing. I should have had him and Virginia reload. Well, no, I need to heal. He has a fucking hate for her right now, doesn't he?
Really? Well, she's the one damage. She's doing the damage, so bio missile's a counter.
Oh yeah, right.
Just like Clive's gonna get a bio missile.
Right.
Oh!
Oh!
Well, that could be a damper on things. Not really, but it could have. Contaminated crust, if you don't remember, will consistently deal poison damage even if you have poison resist or immunity.
Which is why I've decided now is a good time to heal.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Didn't even get to find the stars. Just Dark
Nope,
Lucid.
or the other Gatlings. And we get a Golden Dawn.
Probably should have rested at an inn.
I did. He actually did a good amount of damage. Largely because I didn't give a shit.
No, you healed before that last Dark Lucid.
Yeah?
Clive has less vitality than he should.
Oh.
I don't think you healed.
I guess I did. Oh well.
Anyway, the
Anyways,
Golden Dawn.
Dawn, what do?
Fuck is it?
Ah, here it
Oh,
is.
there it is.
Ah,
Speaking of vitality.
doubles the effect of vitality.
Neat.
And that's Power Trask, but since I didn't load from the Nightmare Castle, I don't have the Exodus Orb. So we will see you back at our next destination. Alright, we're back, everybody, and we're in Little Twister. This well speaks of threats.
Indeed. Speaks of a dark and dire threat that threatens us. Let's play guitar.
Yep,
Hey!
it's a sign from the Messenger of the Darkness.
Uh-oh. Stranger danger. Stranger danger!
Oh god, right, this game's Japanese! No.
This is the
this is why you
Kraken.
don't flush your goldfish, people.
I'm not sure it's a
The many
fucking
tentacles
goldfish.
that the many tentacles that it does not have.
It has two. It's on its face and maybe its hands. We don't know.
Well, shall you introduce our foe?
Sure thing. Kraken, 280,000 health, resistant to thunder, weak to water. Figure that one out. However, unlike the Power Trask, this motherfucker's got a lot of fucking health and has the Giant Swing physical attack, which is a counter, Hydro Launcher, which is a water element magic to 1, and Maelstrom, which is water element magic to all. Unfortunately, his damage output seems to be about the same as Power Trask, so
Yeah. And weakness exploit.
does not have as little magic resistance as Power Trask, so Gallows will not be the MVP here. Clive is.
Yeah, this one's not going to be quite as easy, but... let's see, what do I got here? I believe you can actually severely shred this guy's HP with Reflect. So we're going to set that up, too.
Makes sense. I'll just make sure to permanence it.
Of course, that is somewhat reliant on him actually doing his magic attacks.
Yeah, I thought he would have done it by now. I think it's maybe it's just because of Giant Swing or Mighty Swing.
Maybe. Whatever, it's giving me more time to set up reflect.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, no, there's Maelstrom. Maelstrom itself, I don't believe actually hurts too badly.
Does not get hit by reflect though. It doesn't trigger reflect though. Oh no, it doesn't trigger reflect.
Alright.
Also, I think it shocked Jet's health a good bit.
Yes, it did. But it didn't chunk it enough that he's likely to die, so... We'll keep setting up our reflect for the single-use water magics in case I'm right about it reflecting those.
Yeah. Alright.
Just in case Hyper's worn off. Alright, now everyone's got reflect. Not that seems to matter. He just wants to smack people around.
It'll work. That's all he wants to do. That's all he wants to do.
Rude behavior, but you do you, I guess. Get smack. Alright, as we continue attempting to drown a fish...
Oh, Virginia. Oh, right. Virginia doesn't have the full elemental ward. Oh, should we mystic a lucky card?
Yeah, we'll do that next turn.
Yeah, okay.
Bang, 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 bang. Anyways. What is your general feelings on this game? Since we just kind of breezed over that in the last episode on account in favor of just kind of gushing.
This is a fun RPG.
It is.
A lot of nostalgia for me on it.
Still trying to drown Jet.
Ooh.
Oh, friend, you fucked up. You fucked up.
Yeah, you did. Definitely fucked up. It's a fun RPG. I love the combat can be a little iffy at times if you're too strong or too used to it. But I also like how you're never really having to figure out which is the best party member for the combat. You got all four of your party members there, and you can build them how you want, more or less.
Oh.
I think Valiant wore off.
I don't think so.
I think it did. I didn't see the sparkles. Anyway, the magic system is very involved.
Mega Berry.
So overall, and
Stop
I love
dying.
the whole theme of the Wild Arms series. Wild West, science, magic. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no value.
Yeah, weird.
I don't think Valiant can be permanent.
It can't, but I didn't think I'd cast it long. It'd been up long enough for it to wear off.
Apparently did.
I love that the damage numbers for that were off screen.
Yep.
Yeah, no, Reflect just doesn't work on this guy. Okay, well, that was a waste of turns.
I think it only works on like actual Arcana. That's dumb. So yeah, the combat does have some quirks here and there, just like that. Like permanence not working properly, or some magic attacks not being magic attacks. Shit like that, but eh.
We'll do a little heal on Clive in case he gets smacked before. Well, Mr. Care. Full Care is probably going to put him over there. They're out of the red anyways.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
likely. Plus, I love the dynamic camera in the combat.
Yeah, that is cool. Oh, that was fucking weak. Okay. Yeah. I will note that this is the most like Wild West themed game of the series.
Yeah.
All of them have it to one degree or another, but this is the one that really went whole ham on it.
Yep.
In the past, I've described it as what happens if you make a company learn how to make a JRPG by playing Final Fantasy VIII while somebody watches the Magnificent Seven and Tombstone in the background really loudly.
Yeah. All right.
I did about 20,000.
Yeah.
Oops.
Well, friend.
And he has Valiant this time.
And this is going to re-up his hyper. With a tenth of his health.
Friend, you are fucked.
On a scale from 1 to 10, my friend, you're fucked.
What the fuck? Why is Valiant not triggering?
I don't know.
Because he's got Reflect.
No, it triggered. It went off.
That's weird. I wonder if he has if there's a cleanse in like his SOS skills.
Shouldn't be. Because the shield didn't take because it was still active.
Yeah.
Again, some quirks in the combat.
Yeah.
Maybe there's just a max that it can do.
That might be possible.
That would suck.
Oh god!
Wow!
Potion berry, potion berry, potion berry, potion berry!
We have not seen a party member go down to a single-digit health for a
In
while.
a while! Anyways, from my end, yeah, this game's really good. I do have, like, a couple of issues. Like you mentioned, if you know what you're doing, the combat the end game in particular gets way easier than I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Conversely, though, if you don't know what you're doing, it can be almost impossible. Especially on a first playthrough, the final boss fight is an absolute nightmare. Um, and it can take a bit to really learn the tricks. This is a game that really rewards knowing what you're getting into at every turn.
Yeah.
And on the one hand, that's really cool, but it can lead to a really uneven play experience. And basically, anytime I took a fight seriously during this playthrough, it did not last.
No.
See also demolishing the expert arena in the first fight of the expert arena in literally one turn. There we go.
Yep, finally. Sorry, Kraken. Thanks for coming out, though. You nearly killed Jet.
Narratively? Oh, hey, Dragon Fossil. Narratively, we'll talk about that when we get there, but in the meantime, we got a comment mark. Incrementally increases physical attack power. Make sure Clive doesn't already have that.
He does not. Oh, buff distance. Wow, 40 fucking points necessary.
This is why Sheriff Stars exist.
Yep. Granted, Sheriff Stars require you to be max level, but
you need max level to be able to practically need max level to be able to use that anyways.
pretty much.
So anyways, what I was gonna say, before I, okay, before I completely distracted myself, is that we'll talk about how we felt about the story during the next boss fight.
Yes.
Because in the meantime, I'm going to the inn, and then, yeah, we're gonna go there. So, we'll see you all there. Alright, we're here.
Alright.
Alright, fuck? You cut back in for this.
Well, we were gonna cut back in for Heimdall Gazo, but, these Chimeras wanted to play, so, burn.
Fucking burn.
Ambushing assholes.
Yeah. Oh, you bitch.
Alright, yeah, one of them is, immune to fire. Two can play the immune to fire game, bitch. Amazing.
Oh, fuck, cool.
Amazing.
Alright.
So,
we were here anyway, so...
we are back at the dissection facility. We're getting ready to fight Heimdall Gaza. Just play the fucking guitar.
Like, as soon as we were getting ready to cut back in, we got the ambush. That's amazing.
Mate.
Anyways.
What?
Huh?
Do we have to investigate the holographic archive first? Alright.
Let's see what we've got here.
They're Chimera Geos, so their element is Earth.
Yeah, they're not going to take long.
Nah, it's a low-level dungeon.
No, it's not. This was towards the end of, like, the middle of the end of chapter 3.
Still low-level.
Compared to the party, sure.
Yes, that's what I mean. All right, investigate the Yeah, now try?
There we go. That was weird.
Anyway, Heimdall
Anyways,
Galzo, big eyes. Many eyes.
Yeah, he looks an awful lot like Argus from Legend of Zelda.
I think we made this joke last time we fought one of these motherfuckers that has just a horde of eyes.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Anyway, 117,000 health. No elemental weaknesses, resistances, or havings of any kind. Supposedly 3 attacks. I know, right? Supposedly 3 attacks. Eyeball, which is a physical attack. Screaming Mad, which is dark element to 1. And Phantom Hazard, which is dark magic to all. Why is everyone big on Jet?
They take one look at him and it's like, alright, edgelord.
Have some darkness.
Anyways, we were going to discuss our feelings on the game's plot since we've covered its combat mechanics.
Ah, yes.
Do you want to start us off?
I figured I should, considering Janice. The plot starts off in Chapter 1, very simple, just very... does get the good setup as to how everything's going on. And definitely just kind of sets up the world of Filgaia as it is in this game. With just the concept of drifters alone. People traveling in Wasteland armed with guns, searching through ruins and shit. Some are good, and some are bad, and some are somewhere in between. The good, obviously, is Virginia and her group. The bad, obviously, is Janice and his lackeys. And somewhere in between is the Maxwell family. Not Maxwell, fuck, shit.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's.
Counter.
Gallo says you have to edit more.
I know, right?
In the most editing-heavy episode of the show of the series.
Thanks, Gallows. Appreciate it. But Chapter 1 obviously starts off with the ruins showing how powerful, dangerous, whatever the fuck they are with the artifacts of demons, which has always been a long staple of the series. And to new players, this is like, okay, this is something we're dealing with. This is part of the fantasy aspect, along with the Guardians.
Yeah.
Sets up our party with Virginia being the innocent, naive who has a motive trying to find her father. Jet being the amnesiac edgelord who is trying to find his purpose, I guess. Gallows being the magical prodigy from the sacred tribe who really doesn't want to be burdened by that shit. And Clive being the competent professional and archaeologist historian.
I mean, yeah, I would say in general the Chapter 1 does a good job of setting things up.
Yeah.
Even gives us some good early throwaway villains with Janice and his 2 lackeys.
Yeah.
And a good climactic showdown with them. Anyways, now that I've done the rest of my setup, be burnable.
And it does end on a good enough cliffhanger as to who the hell Janice was even working for.
Yeah.
And Chapter 2 is really about his bosses and how they're fucking evil and stupid.
Yeah.
I'll let you handle that.
Sets up some... Ooh. I need to heal Jet next time. Chapter 2, I would say, does a good job with the prophets and introducing the Arc of Destiny. I think that's once introduced.
Nice! Sorry.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, that happened as applies Gatling, so everyone's gonna need a heal. And yeah, it's a good setup with the Arc of Destiny being a very, obviously a major plot point at the end of the game, but The Chekhov's gun is still there.
And I do actually have a bit of a problem with the Arc of Destiny, but we'll cover that when we get to Chapter 4.
Yeah.
Son of a
dead.
bitch!
Probably should have accelerator healed him.
Probably, but I don't think he'd get insta-gibbed like that. Phantom Hazard actually hurts.
Yeah. Well, he also for some reason, has, like, no magic resistance sometimes.
Yeah. Like, in general, a bit of a note on the combat. I am not using what would be even remotely classified as an optimal build for any of these people.
Because they're not doing the Abyss.
Yeah. Clive is probably the closest, but even then,
But as far as Chapter 3...
Actually, no.
Unless you still have thoughts on Chapter 2.
Nah.
Yeah, as far as Chapter 3 goes, after the events initially dealing with the Prophets, and them showing their willingness to not fucking die...
You bitch!
What an asshole! Anyway, their willingness to not fucking die and still continue to their dumbass ideals, even when proven wrong by the sheer glory of violence. And the arrival of Siegfried... Oh, hey, bye, Heimdall. And the arrival of Siegfried with, by the actions of the Prophets. Hey, the gold license. Oh yeah, that's how we get half price on the, black market shit.
Yep, that's exactly what that does. Half price on all black market items. And to all other shops, apparently.
Nice. Not that we ever use them.
Yeah, no kid.
The arrival of Siegfried really catapulting everything into, okay, this is becoming a do-or-die scenario. Really does make you feel like Chapter 3 is going to be the climax until near the end of Chapter 3 when the real big villain is revealed. The Gothalita Beatrice.
And honestly, Chapter 3 definitely feels like what everything was building up to.
Again with this? They just don't learn.
Okay. But yeah. Like, it also is where you get the most, like, interaction with, like, the most of, or finally start getting development for the Schrodingers beyond just being Virginia's rivals.
Yeah.
Or specifically Maya being Virginia's rival.
Maya/love interest,
which
yes.
is nice. Yeah. Which is nice. You get some really good moments with them.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, the only complaint I have about Chapter 3 is that so much stuff happens in it that it kind of feels like it should be the climax of the game.
Doesn't it?
Which brings us to Chapter 4, I suppose. We just gonna talk about that when we get to the telepath towers.
Well, we gotta hunt down the little red fucks.
The who?
The Ariok.
Oh, yeah.
I say we go ahead and show that fight.
Yeah, fair.
So we'll show off the Arioks and explain why we're not doing them after this cutaway. Cut?
Actually don't. I have to find that on the world map.
It's Den of Miasma.
Because we never showed off where the Den of Miasma is.
Oh, let me just look it up.
Yeah, we never went back to it, so don't cut.
Page. I could have sworn we've gone back to Den of Miasma.
Nope, there's only one reason to go back, and we never did.
Huh.
Anyways, I think it's actually right down here.
Anyway, Den of Miasma is... That's Telepath Tower.
Yeah, so...
Den of Miasma is 11,955 and 16,940. Yep, that's the bitch.
Well, now you know where it is. And since we were covering the plot, we might as well just continue at this point. Fuck off.
That's true. So yeah, welcome back to Den of Miasma.
So, Chapter 4.
Chapter 4, man, it... If you don't pay attention to the fact of both Lamium and Shane talk about dreams,
And the fact
and
that
know
you
that
can
dream
see
demons are a
couple
thing.
early cutscenes.
Yeah.
Like, you can't... Yeah. I purposefully did not draw attention to Beatrice for the most part. Just for people who hadn't actually played the game. I think we did call her out, like, the first time to go back to Boot Hill.
Yeah. Every time she really, like, showed up in the cutscene proper is when I would, like, draw it out, but... As for her being the villain, it definitely catches you off guard, even if you're kind of paying attention. If you know that dream demons are a thing, then you start to piece it together. It's like, oh, dreams are involved. Fuck.
Yeah. Like, Beatrice herself isn't a bad villain.
No.
And like I mentioned in the episode, the Nightmare Castle is actually really good. Both design-wise and, like, both visually and mechanically. Anyways, all that said, though, I actually do kind of consider Chapter 4 the weakest. Just because, not only do some of the dungeons just kind of exist at you,
how few there are,
and not much else. Yeah. A lot of, like, the characters actually just kind of get dropped. Like, the Schrodingers don't show up at all until the very end of the... Hiccups!
Till the very end, yeah.
Until the... Yeah.
The Ark of Destiny only gets mentioned at the end.
Yeah. And that one can actually be a serious problem. If you... The Ark of Destiny basically stops showing up partway through Chapter 3, and not even very long into Chapter 3.
Yeah, honestly.
So, I do think it would be way too easy for a player to forget about Lamium and his Dream Oracle thing. And if that happens, that can make the reveal that he's important, that him and the Ark of Destiny are important to Beatrice's plans, come off as very out of nowhere. I just walked off a cliff.
Yes, you did.
Other than that, I think it's fine. Just feels a bit undercooked compared to the earlier chapters.
Yeah, especially the ramifications of her actions being taken in people's memories. Yes, it's been thrown around that, okay, something happened 10 years ago, and there's a good fucking and there's a reason why no one fucking remembers it. But
it was just kind of assumed that the holy shit, what is the name of that thing? The Yggdrasil incident just happened to wipe the memories. And there's no real indication that there's some deeper mystery to the memory loss. If you're not really paying attention.
Yeah. Anyway, with that long-winded explanation out of the way, the reason we've come back to the Den of Miasma is
this asshole.
Yep. Although I think asshole is a bit misleading. It's assholes.
These assholes.
Plural. Ariat. For the fucks. That was easy. So was that. So was that. That was really easy. Unfortunately...
I am the Grand Duke of Vengeance, Ariat. Even though I may succumb 99 times, I shall continue to rise in order to pierce thee with my blade. My spiteful revenge is unforeseeable, and I shall creep upon thee silently, wherever thou may be, under any circumstance without warning. Let it be known that my revenge shall cease with your demise, or with my 100th defeat.
Yeah, so this is why I'm not doing Ariok. You have to hunt this motherfucker down, 99 times!
Yeah.
And
There is ways to force him to spawn,
at
but
random.
yeah.
Yeah, for a quick bit of coverage, the way Ariok works is that he moves between dungeons, mostly at random, and you have to track him down and kill him over and over and over again. He's really fucking boring to deal with, honestly.
Now, while that may not seem like a big issue, considering how easy he went down, he gets stronger with each fight.
Yeah. Now, if you do want to do this, you do get an EX key off after beating him 100 times.
Yes.
And the way to manipulate his spawns, just bounce between the 4 starting dungeons.
Yep.
If he
However,
doesn't
that
show up
requires
within,
us doing
I
that,
think
and that's boring.
Yeah, if he doesn't show up within like 20 battles, move to the next one.
Yeah.
Anyways, we need the thing.
Yeah, the telepath tower, which is right nearby, because you already found it. Huzzah!
That's Telepath Tower 8. I was kind of figuring we'd do one of the easier ones.
Okay. Speaking of
'Cause they
annoying
do get-
fights.
Yeah, they do get stronger with each one.
Alright, then let's... What ailment do you want to deal with?
Fuck.
Want to just deal with disease and be
Let's
done
just
with
go
it?
deal... I was just gonna say, let's just go deal with one,
Okay.
which is in the middle of Laxus Land Island.
Yep. 16,660 and 18,119.
And now for the other thing we're not dealing with, and like bulk.
Yeah. There is 16 of these fucks. And I think it's only... Yeah, 16.
It's 20?
No?
I thought it was 20.
No? 20 Millennium Puzzles.
Oh, yeah. You only have to do 15 of these, but
Yeah, one of them is just optional.
and it's also a bitch.
Yeah.
Anyways, what are the coordinates I'm looking for?
16,660 and 18,119 are right the
there.
goddamn shit there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, blocking contact with outer space. The telepath towers.
These
I hate
things
these things.
suck.
Now, the reason I hate these things is not only do they have a lot of health and just get more and more per fight, they specialize in status ailments.
This one in particular, I believe, is amnesia.
Yes, indeed. 6,900 health per tower on this. The max is the optional, which is 65,500 per.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They also have Hyperion Blaster. And there's Amnesia. So, the first 5 fights of this are perfectly fine. Because that's just these fights. After the 5th, you're attacked by something known as the Creaking Chaos, which appears random encounters all
In
across
midair.
Gaia. After the 10th, they upgrade to Silent Chaos. And after the 15th, you get a message about a UFO basically finishing its observation and says, come get some, bitch.
Yeah. And once you do all 15 in order to get the EX file key from this, you go back and talk to what's-his-face in Laxus Land.
Yeah.
These things are also reasonably tanky. And don't come packing any inbuilt weaknesses that I'm aware of.
No, I don't think so.
Honestly, this one isn't as annoying as Ariok or the Abyss. It's
Still.
just not all that fun. And I suppose that is kind of my other beef. The closest thing I have to another beef with this game is some of the side stuff is certainly excellent.
Yeah. Although a bit of interesting trivia about the quest-giving NPC that tells you about the aliens. His name is Roswell.
Yes, he is.
As in Roswell, New Mexico.
Yep. And yeah, the only other real issue I have with this game is that the soundcraft just isn't all that fun.
It's really not.
But that's really it. And I think that is all the stuff we had on the docket for today.
Yeah, that is all optional boss battles that are not in the Abyss.
Yeah, or requiring me to go find every treasure chest in the game.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind...
Our next recording will be the last for Wild Arms 3.
God, that's weird to say.
Gonna be a long one, though, because it's
And-
story time.
Yep, and we will see you all then. How the fuck do I land this thing? Right. In the meantime, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. This has been Basilisk,
And I am the Caffeine Dragon.
and we will see you all next time for, Jabberjaw.
Get no respect.
Thank you and good night, folks.
Take care.
What?
Get no respect. Jabberjaw.
Ah.